I was 8 months pregnant when my husband started coming home late, smelling like cologne I didn't own. He said he was working overtime. I believed him until his phone buzzed with a text that read, "She's so slow now. I miss you." I waited until after the baby shower he forced me to host, then announced to everyone what he'd really been doing. He lost his job, his reputation, and every right to ever touch my child again. We live in Cedar Park, Texas. Nothing fancy, just a quiet area with small parks, decent schools, and lots of families like ours. I was 34, working part-time as a high school secretary, and I was 8 months pregnant with our first baby. That pregnancy was hard. I couldn't sleep right. I had heartburn that felt like my chest was on fire. My ankles were swollen, my back ached, and sometimes I cried just because I was tired. But I didn't complain to Craig too much. I wanted to be strong for him. Craig was 36, worked IT at a firm downtown. He used to come home by 5:30, no matter what. He'd walk in, kiss me on the forehead, then check the fridge. He'd ask about the baby's kicks, rub my belly, talk to the bump. He wasn't perfect, but I thought he was solid. Reliable. The kind of guy who'd be a good father. Then one day, he said he had to stay late. Just a few hours. At first, it was once a week. Then it was every other night. Then it was almost every night. I'd ask him what was going on. He said they were rolling out a new server system. Something about legacy software and being short-staffed. The usual tech guy talk. I didn't know much about that world, so I believed him. Why wouldn't I? But then he started smelling different. I noticed it one night when he kissed my cheek. The scent hit me right away. It wasn't his usual cologne, the one I had picked out for him last year. It was sharper, sweeter. Like something you'd buy at a drugstore in a rush. It didn't fit him. It didn't belong to our life. I asked, casually, "Did you change cologne?" He paused. "Yeah, one of the guys at work had some. I liked it. Thought I'd try it." I nodded, but my stomach clenched. Then it happened again. And again. I kept noticing little things. He started showering right when he got home. He never used to do that. He stopped touching my belly. He looked tired all the time, but it wasn't the same kind of tired I had. Mine came from growing a human. His felt like guilt. Still, I didn't want to believe it. I kept telling myself, "You're being paranoid. He loves you. He's just stressed." Then, on a Friday night, it all came apart. I was folding baby clothes on our bed. Onesies, tiny socks, little hats. I was humming along to a lullaby playlist. Craig was in the shower. His phone buzzed on the nightstand. Normally, I ignored it. We never checked each other's phones. But something in me snapped. I picked it up. The preview of the message lit up the screen. "She's so slow now. I miss you." I read it 5 times before it really hit me. She's so slow now. That was me. Pregnant. Tired. Moving slower. Living slower. Sleeping more. I miss you. That was for him. He had someone else. He wasn't working late. He was with her. My hands were shaking. My legs gave out, and I sat down on the edge of the bed. My mind was racing. I couldn't cry. I couldn't scream. I just stared at the phone until the water shut off in the bathroom. I put the phone back where it was. He walked out, towel around his waist, humming. "Hey babe, what's for dinner?" I said, "Leftovers," and smiled like I hadn't just seen my life crumble. That night, I didn't sleep. I laid there next to him, staring at the ceiling, while he snored like everything was fine. There was a baby shower planned the next week. My mother, sister, and some friends from work helped organize it. It was at our house, because Craig said we shouldn't spend money renting a venue. He promised he'd help set things up. "We'll make it perfect," he said. I wanted to cancel, but then I had an idea. Let it happen. Let him pretend. Let him play husband of the year in front of a room full of people. Then I'd ruin him. I waited. I smiled through the decorating. I opened gifts. I hugged my sister. I posed for pictures with a fake grin that hurt my cheeks. Craig stood by me, arm around my shoulder, making jokes, calling himself Daddy-to-be. Everyone laughed. Everyone told me how lucky I was. He had no idea I knew everything, and I wasn't done yet. I waited until the end of the baby shower. Waited until the cake had been cut and the guests were starting to gather their things. That moment where people were half distracted, relaxed, smiling. That's when I stood up. I cleared my throat. Before everyone leaves, I said, and people turned to look at me, I just want to thank you for being here. It means a lot. Craig put his arm around me again, trying to play the doting husband. I stepped away from him. There's something I need to say, I continued. My voice was calm, too calm. I looked right at Craig. I want to thank you all for the gifts, for the love, for your support. Especially now that I'll be doing this alone. The room fell quiet. Craig laughed nervously. What are you talking about, babe? I held up his phone. I saw the text. From her. His face drained of color. She's so slow now. I miss you, I read aloud. Gasps. Someone dropped a cup. I turned to the crowd. Craig's been cheating on me. While I've been carrying his child, he's been sleeping with someone else. He tried to talk. No, that's not. I cut him off. Don't. Just don't. You said you were working overtime. You were with her. Every night you walked in smelling like someone else, I believed you. Every night I cried from pain or stress, you were off screwing someone behind my back. Someone from his job was there. A guy named Jared. I looked right at him. You work with him, right? Jared nodded slowly. Did you guys have any overtime these last few weeks? Jared looked around, uncomfortable. No, not really. We've been pretty normal. There it was. His last lie, crushed right there in our living room. Craig tried to grab my arm. We should talk about this in private. I stepped back. Don't touch me. Don't you ever touch me again. He looked around, realizing he'd lost the room. His mom, who had flown in for the shower, was standing with her mouth open. My sister was already grabbing her keys. I already spoke to a lawyer, I said. You won't be on the birth certificate. You won't be in the delivery room. And you sure as hell won't be seeing my daughter. He muttered something, maybe my name, but I was done. I walked into the kitchen while people whispered. My mother followed and hugged me. I cried, but it wasn't sadness. It was relief. It was freedom. But the fallout had just started. A few days later, Craig showed up at my job. Just walked into the school like he had a right to be there. Can we talk? He asked, voice low. I walked him outside. What the hell are you doing here? He looked tired. Not fake tired. Real tired. He hadn't shaved. His shirt was wrinkled. You're really going to cut me out? You cut yourself out. He ran a hand through his hair. It didn't mean anything. I was just stressed. I made a mistake. You made a choice. Then he said something that chilled me. She's pregnant too. I felt like I'd been slapped. She's what? She didn't tell me until last night, he said. She's about a month along. I stared at him. You got another woman pregnant while I was carrying your baby? He looked like he was going to cry. I didn't plan it. I didn't mean for any of this. I turned and walked away. Later that week, his job called me. Apparently, HR got wind of what happened. The woman he was seeing was also from his office. A junior employee. He was her supervisor. They fired him, not just for the affair, but for abusing his position. Then came the fallout on social media. People posted pictures from the baby shower. Videos of me exposing him. Word spread fast. Mutual friends started deleting him. His family stopped answering his calls. Even his mom stayed in town to help me. I stayed calm through it all. Focused on my baby. But part of me was still angry. Still raw. Still planning. The weeks dragged on. Every kick from inside me reminded me why I had to stay strong. I didn't respond to Craig's texts. He sent them daily at first, begging, apologizing, making promises he couldn't keep. Then he started getting desperate. Please, just let me talk to you in person. I need to be in our daughter's life. Our daughter. That word made me sick. One day, I got a letter from a lawyer. Craig was trying to file for partial custody even before she was born. I sat on the edge of the couch, staring at the papers in disbelief. He had no job, no home of his own, and now 2 women pregnant at the same time. But somehow, he thought he could still play father. My lawyer laughed when she saw it. He doesn't have a chance, she said, but will respond officially. He's digging his own grave. I thought that was the end of it, but Craig wasn't done being stupid. 3 weeks before my due date, I was grocery shopping alone. My belly was heavy, my back ached, and I just wanted to be home. I was pushing a cart through the frozen foods when I heard his voice. Hey! I turned and saw him standing there, blocking the aisle. I told you to leave me alone, I said. I know. I miss you. I miss us. Please don't do this. You already did this. Then he pulled something from his pocket, a small envelope. What's that? An ultrasound. Hers. She wanted me to show you. I backed away. You're disgusting. I just thought you should know. It's a boy. I left my cart and walked out of the store. A few days later, I got a call. From her. The other woman. Her voice was quiet, shaky. I don't know who else to talk to. You think I'm the one? I didn't know he was married. I swear. He told me you were separated. That the baby wasn't his. Of course he did. She told me everything. How they met at work. How he flirted for months. How he said he wasn't happy at home. That I was cold, that I never touched him, that I refused to have kids for years and was now using the baby to trap him. She found out the truth the same day I exposed him at the shower. Her friend had sent her the video someone posted online. I'm keeping the baby, she said. But I want nothing to do with him. He's toxic. I didn't say anything for a while. Then finally, take care of yourself. You're going to need strength. Do you hate me? She asked. No, I said. But I don't feel sorry for you either. 2 weeks later, I went into labor. My mom drove me to the hospital. My sister met us there. I delivered a healthy baby girl, 7 pounds, 6 ounces. Full head of hair. Bright, alert eyes. They put her on my chest and I cried harder than I ever had in my life. She was mine. All mine. Craig didn't find out until 2 days later. I'd put my phone on silent. When I turned it on, there were 30 messages. All from him. Did you have her? Is she okay? Please let me see her. Please. I didn't respond. But I had one more move to make. A week after I brought my daughter home, I sent Craig a text. If you want to meet her, come by the house. Sunday. Noon. He replied within seconds. Thank you. I'll be there. He showed up dressed like he was going to a job interview, shirt tucked in, new haircut, holding a teddy bear in one hand and a gift bag in the other. He looked nervous. Sweaty. I opened the door just enough to look at him. She's not here. He blinked. What? She's not here. Where is she? Safe. With people who love her. I stepped outside and closed the door behind me. I didn't invite you to see her. I invited you so I could look you in the face one last time and tell you what's coming. He frowned. What are you talking about? I handed him an envelope. He opened it. It was a printed report. A full summary of everything I had collected. Text messages, photos, notes from the other woman, affidavits from coworkers, copies of his HR file. I sent this to your ex-company's board. To your new job applications. To every hiring manager who contacted your references. I've already spoken with a judge about full parental termination. Given your behavior, your lies, your job loss, and the fact you're about to have a second kid with another woman who already filed a complaint against you, your rights are being reviewed for removal. You can't do that, he said. I just did. You're not on her birth certificate. You'll never see her again. She's my daughter. She's my daughter. You gave up your rights the moment you walked out smelling like someone else. He was shaking. I made a mistake. I leaned in. So did I. I chose you. I gave you a home, a life, a family, and you threw it away for a girl who didn't even know your middle name. He looked broken, gutted, but I wasn't finished. I've also filed a civil claim for emotional distress. I'll see you in court, not as the mother of your child, just as the woman who buried you without lifting a single finger. I walked back into the house. He didn't follow. He just stood there on the porch, holding that damn teddy bear like it could save him. I watched from the window as he sat on the steps for 2 hours. Then he left. 6 months later, he was working nights at a warehouse. The other woman moved back to her parents' house 2 towns over. Word got around that her pregnancy had complications. She filed for child support. So did I. He couldn't afford either. The courts took his license, then his savings, then his car. I didn't hear from him again. And you know what? I sleep fine now. My daughter is healthy, smiling, safe. And I'll make sure she never calls a man like that dad. Not in this lifetime. Not in the next.